Welcome back to the show. In this episode, I want to talk about staying consistent and disciplined in the things that you say you're going to do. Okay? This is something that bothers me. Honestly, I've struggled with this, I guess, in the past, but it also bothers me right now when, have you ever talked to someone who's, so motivated, so inspired? I'm going to the gym. I'm going to do 3 days a week. There's no way I'm going to stop. There's no way I'm going to quit. And then you talk to them a month later, you mention the gym and they don't want anything to do with it. They don't even want to talk about it. They don't want to accept the fact that they failed or, they were saying everything they wanted to do and they didn't go through with it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to face that. And it bothers me a little because most of the time I believe them. Sometimes I talk to people, for hours on end about how they're going to change, how they're going to quit smoking, get in the gym, eat healthy, whatever it is that, they're planning to do to make themselves better. And then they don't go through with it. Okay. There's a quote in a book. I forget what the book is. I think it's 48 Laws of Power, maybe. It says, stay impeccable about your word or something like that. Right? Meaning what you say, make sure that you do. Okay. Don't be like, for me, like I said, I would be talking to someone for, an hour, 2 hours about what they're going to do. Right. And then I believe them and I'm happy for them. And, I'm inspired with them. And then they just don't go through with what they said. They're not being impeccable with their word. They're saying things for that one day, for that moment where they feel inspired. And then they don't want to go through with it. Maybe one day they're lazy and then they say, forget it, go back to their old self, forget everything we talked about, and then maybe a couple months, 6 months later, they're back on that again. Like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to quit smoking, whatever it is. And then again, the same pattern, something comes up. And usually when I ask them about this, like, why'd you stop going to the gym? Why did you start smoking again? Whatever it's going to be, they have an excuse. And to me, I don't care about that excuse. I don't buy that excuse. And, a reason is because I used to have those same excuses until I realized that I was just telling those excuses to myself. Nobody cares about your excuse. Those excuses are made to convince people of why you didn't do something. I don't want to hear an excuse. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. That's what it is, right? But it kind of bothers me. Obviously, I know it shouldn't because it's not my problem. But, when I'm inspired for someone and, when I'm happy for someone and they don't go through with what they wanted to do and they tried to convince me, as much as they can that they're definitely going to do this no matter what, I wouldn't say I lose respect, but it makes me look at them maybe like they're a little more weaker than I thought, But not to say that I may have been the same way, 5, maybe 10 years ago when I was a little younger. I was always saying I would quit smoking or whatever. And I get that it is hard, right? But I ended up learning the lessons and I ended up, reading enough books and watching enough videos and audiobooks, whatever it is, to, elevate myself to the person that now, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Right? No matter what it is. I quit smoking cold turkey. I threw my last cigarette and I said, that's my last cigarette. I never smoked again. I quit. I said back, 4 or 5 years ago, I'm going to stay in the gym a minimum of 3 days a week. Should be more. I'm trying to do 4 and 5 now. But when I said that and I started, I made sure I never missed a day unless I completely couldn't have to work out. Like maybe this month, to be honest, was the first time I took a week and a half off from the gym in maybe 2-3 years straight, like a week off, no working out at all. Because, whatever, I was doing deadlifts. I hurt my back pretty bad and my body was like shaped weird. So I didn't want to injure it more. And even then, I actually wanted to go to the gym just to be there and do something light. But, I said, okay, maybe let this heal, right? So unless it's something like that where, you're injured, you're in bed sick and you just can't move, there should be no excuse for not going to the gym. That's what I told myself. And, since 2018, we're in 2023 now. Since then, I've never taken, over 2 weeks off of the gym. Every time, every week, 3 days a week minimum. And now, I've been pushing 4 and 5 days, which I should have done before. But I stuck to my word and I never stopped, even when I didn't feel like going, even when, I was a little sick or whatever, maybe something else was injured and I could work on something else. I always ended up going. I quit smoking weed. I told myself, I'm done smoking. I don't want to do this anymore, basically. I made the decision and I quit and I never looked back, right? I quit my job. I said, I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to be successful in business. I'm going to at least make the same or more than I was at a job. I quit my job, didn't know exactly how I was going to do it, but I never went back to work, and it's been since 2018. I am doing what I say I'm going to do, right? And if I don't, which, hasn't happened yet, I don't even know. There is no if I don't, okay? Because I'm going to do it. And that's what I'm telling you as well. When you say something, make sure that you're going to stay consistent and disciplined and stop making excuses of why you went back to, your old self or what you were doing or being lazy, unhappy, whatever it is. If you say you're going to the gym 3 days a week, make it obtainable, Don't say I'm going to the gym 7 days a week for 2 hours. That's not something you can maintain. In the beginning, how to do this successfully is start very small. Say even 15 minutes 3 days a week in the gym. Okay, something very small. That's not enough, but it's enough to get you there, right? Get there, do the 15 minutes, do that for a couple weeks, and then you say, okay, now I'm going to do 30 minutes. Now I'm going to do 1 hour, 4 days a week. Start slow and then stay consistent and disciplined and keep doing what you wanted to do, right? I know quitting smoking and quitting bad habits is definitely hard, but there's ways around it. There's lessons to be learned, definitely online. You can do it. I quit smoking, I quit weed. I even quit coffee because I didn't want to need something every day. So I quit coffee. When I wake up, all I need is food and water, and I'm happy. I have nothing that I need that controls my mood or, the way I feel when I wake up. So I just made those decisions and stayed consistent and disciplined with how I felt about those decisions. And that's what made me, successful at what I wanted to do. Okay. So I'm going to leave this video at that. I hope this inspired you and motivated you and, made you think about all the things you said you were going to do. And then, think about those excuses you made and how weak that makes you seem. Everybody knows what they should be doing. Everybody knows how they could get what they want. They just don't want to put in the work to actually get it because it is hard. It does take time. But this is your life we are talking about. If that's not important to you, then I don't know what is. All right? So if you like this video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know you're watching. It inspires me to make more content like this. I'll see you on the next one.